Number 1. A city to live in at minus 60 degrees. Yakutsk is the capital of the Sakha Republic, or Yakutia, and also the largest city in the region, with approximately 372,801 inhabitants in 2025. It is one of the coldest cities inhabited permanently. In winter, temperatures frequently drop below minus 50 degrees Celsius, with the lowest recorded being minus 69.6 degrees Celsius, cold enough to freeze boiling water upon exposure to the air. The city is situated on the Lena River, about 450 kilometers south of the Arctic Circle, and is almost geographically isolated. Yakutsk serves as an important river port for eastern Siberia, but access remains very limited. There are no bridges across the Lena River, so in summer, people must travel by ferry, while in winter, a layer of ice 1 to 2 meters thick turns the river surface into a natural ice road. According to local authorities, the ice thickness of this road must be measured daily each winter to ensure the safety of heavy trucks. Yakutsk is built entirely on permafrost approximately 100 meters thick. This foundation consists of soil, gravel, and sand bound together by ice, posing significant limitations to construction. Therefore, natural gas pipelines must be laid above ground. Houses and large buildings are supported on concrete piles to prevent melting the ice beneath. If heat from construction melts the permafrost, the ground could collapse irreversibly, leading to the complete destruction of the structure. Yakutsk has a subarctic continental climate with extreme temperature variations. The average annual temperature is around minus 8 degrees Celsius, with the coldest month reaching minus 39 degrees Celsius, while the short summer can have days close to plus 20 degrees Celsius. The total temperature difference between winter and summer reaches 102 degrees Celsius, considered the highest ever recorded in a major city. For about 4 months, from mid-November to mid-March, the temperature never exceeds 0 degrees Celsius. These conditions force residents to completely adjust their lifestyles. In winter, vehicles cannot be left running for too long because the oil and fuel will freeze. People wear multiple layers of clothing to retain heat and avoid contact with bare metal to prevent frostbite. In Yakutsk, children are only allowed outside for short periods when temperatures drop below minus 45 degrees Celsius, and schools may close if temperatures continue to plummet. Despite facing such harsh conditions, Yakutsk remains one of the fastest-growing cities in Siberia. Life here shows that humans cannot change nature, but they can adapt their way of life to survive and operate a modern city right in the coldest region on Earth. Number 2. When death is below minus 50 degrees. Life in Yakutsk not only challenges people physically, but also shapes cultural customs that reflect the long-standing relationship between humans and the icy environment. Even burial rituals must adapt to nature. Due to the permafrost, the YAKUT people are forced to burn charcoal for days to melt the surface ice before they can dig graves about 6 to 7 feet deep. Thanks to these conditions, many bodies buried hundreds of years ago remain almost perfectly preserved. Some archaeological discoveries in Yakutia show that clothing, jewelry, and even facial features of the deceased are still clearly preserved thanks to the natural freezing environment. Spiritual beliefs play a core role in YAKUT society, especially shamanism, or shamanism. The YAKUT people believe in 2 main forms of shamanism. Aji Oyuns are light shamans, representing protective forces and deities, while Abasi Oyuns are associated with the dark world and dangerous spirits. Shamans are seen as intermediaries between the visible and invisible worlds, performing healing rituals, guiding the souls of the dead, and maintaining balance between humans and nature. Shaman attire is very heavy, weighing 10 to 15 kilograms, with hundreds of metal details, bells, and divine symbols attached to the leather garments. During rituals, the weight and sounds from the attire are believed to help the shaman cross the boundaries between worlds. The YAKUT believe the universe is divided into 3 realms: the upper world of the gods, the middle world of humans, and the lower world of evil spirits, all connected by the symbol of the Tree of Life. The Isyak Festival, held on the summer solstice, June 21st to 22nd, is the most important cultural event of the year. This is the occasion when the YAKUT people offer sacrifices to the sun god Ayi, drink kumis, fermented mare's milk, dance in traditional costumes, and participate in sporting competitions, especially horse racing. Each year, around 200,000 people gather at Us-Katan, about 12 miles north of Yakutsk. During the festival, ancient rituals and songs are passed down from the Olanko epic, an oral heritage that has existed for centuries in Yakut culture. Even the marriage ceremony reflects the solemnity of this society. The bride is dressed in layers of handcrafted clothing, traditional jewelry, and ceremonial gloves before performing algies, a blessing ritual for the new family. Both families exchange gifts, symbolizing abundance and stability. The bride then performs a ritual honoring fire, a symbol of life and protection. Unlike many modern weddings, these ceremonies take place in a solemn atmosphere, emphasizing spiritual responsibility rather than celebratory joy. Number 3. Diamonds under ancient ice. Yakutsk is impressive not only for its extreme temperatures, but also for its location in one of Russia's richest resource regions. Yakutia currently holds approximately 20% of the world's diamond reserves and over 70% of the Russian Federation's diamond reserves, with more than 150 active mines. Diamond mining began in the 1960s and remains a pillar of the economy, generating hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenue annually. Many towns and infrastructure in Yakutia are built directly around these diamond mines. Besides diamonds, Yakutia also possesses about 12.3% of Russia's gold reserves, along with a range of strategic minerals such as antimony, tin, tungsten, silver, uranium, and rare earth elements. Large mines like Chayandinskoye supply oil and natural gas to the national energy system. Nezhdeninskoye is one of the important gold mines, and Agilkinskoye specializes in tungsten mining for heavy industry. These resources make Yakutia a crucial link in the supply chain for raw materials in the Far East and the international market. However, this wealth also comes with unpredictable phenomena. As the permafrost begins to melt, Ice Age discoveries reappear. Nearly perfectly preserved mammoth carcasses have been found numerous times, carrying soft tissue, fur, and even leftover food from their stomachs. Some specimens have been used in scientific research to understand ancient ecosystems and past climate change. At the same time, the melting ice raises concerns about the potential release of ancient bacteria or viruses, creating unproven biological risks in the modern environment. Besides minerals and fossil fuels, Yakutsk's natural resources offer many other advantages. Natural mineral water is used for medicinal purposes. Old-growth forests provide high-quality timber, and the region contributes about a quarter of Russia's precious furs. This combination of abundant resources and a fragile environment makes Yakutia a land of great potential, but one that constantly faces long-term environmental and development challenges. Number 4. Survival under -50. In Yakutsk, winter transforms venturing outside into a true test of human endurance. Before leaving the house, residents must prepare meticulously, layering clothing in what they jokingly call cabbage-style attire. This includes fur-lined tights, thermal underwear, sweaters, thick fur coats, and specialized boots. When temperatures drop below -45 degrees Celsius, 2 layers of clothing are mandatory: a light inner layer and a long, down-filled outer coat. Heads, arms, necks, and legs are always completely covered. One YAKUT resident succinctly described the principle of survival as simply dressing warmly and layering. The cost of winter clothing in Yakutsk is a significant burden. A regular coat costs around $700, camel hair trousers around $600, while coats made from rare furs can range from $3,000 to $17,000. Ordinary footwear cannot withstand the extreme cold, so traditional fur-lined shoes have become a necessity. According to local shops, a complete winter outfit can cost the equivalent of several months' average income for residents of Yakutsk. Transportation also has to adapt in its own way. Cars are often not turned off to prevent the engine from freezing completely. Exhaust fumes accumulate in the cold air, forming thick fog that reduces visibility on the road to less than 60 meters. Despite constant road and public transport maintenance, driving remains dangerous due to slippery ice and sub-zero temperatures. Electronic devices such as phones, microphones, and cameras often only last a few minutes outdoors before the batteries drain quickly. Many film crews in Yakutsk carry spare batteries and keep them in their body pockets to extend their lifespan. Health risks are a daily occurrence. Frostbite is very common. After just 10 minutes outdoors, the nose and exposed skin can become numb and turn white. The cold, dry air makes breathing difficult and irritates the respiratory tract. Hundreds of deaths from frostbite occur each year, especially during holidays when people are more outdoors. In temperatures of -50 degrees Celsius, Eyelashes can freeze almost instantly, and breath forms ice crystals that cling to face coverings. Indoor life becomes central to all activities. Apartments have central heating systems running 24 hours a day, along with 2 to 3 layers of heavy doors to retain heat. In shopping malls, cinemas, or theaters, people often store their thick coats in lockers because moving around in full winter clothing is very inconvenient. Therefore, most social interaction in Yakutsk takes place in warm, enclosed spaces, where the cold is almost completely absent from daily life. Number 5. The Yakut woman's style. Women in Yakutsk are identified not only by their appearance, but also by how they maintain their individuality in an environment where nature reigns supreme. Their faces often possess soft yet firm features. Their skin is radiant, and their eyes are expressive, reflecting a blend of East Asian influences and their indigenous Siberian roots. In the extreme climate, this appearance is not merely aesthetic, but also reflects resilience and adaptability. Despite the long winters and extremely low temperatures, Yakut women do not abandon their lifestyle. Dresses and feminine attire are still present, but always layered with insulation. Skincare and light makeup become essential habits to combat the dry air and cold winds. In an environment where skin is prone to cracking and dehydration, moisturizing products are considered daily necessities, similar to winter coats or boots. In Yakutsk, maintaining appearance is inseparable from protecting health. Dating life here reflects the characteristics of a small and isolated city. Dating apps don't play a central role. Relationships often begin through direct social networks such as friends, university, or private meetings. Because there are more women than men, finding a partner is more competitive, and relationships tend to develop quickly. In a community where people easily get to know each other, delaying commitment is uncommon. Marriage in Yakutsk is a blend of tradition and modern life. Weddings are often held indoors to avoid the cold, lasting 2 to 3 days with 200 to 500 guests. The presence of a shaman at the wedding is still maintained by many families to bless the new family with prosperity and stability. The enclosed space and lengthy rituals show that marriage is seen as a communal event, not just a personal choice. In one of the world's coldest cities, Yakut women do more than just survive. They cultivate a unique style, combining resilience, practicality, and femininity. The harsh environment doesn't diminish their beauty, but rather shapes a calm and confident demeanor that has been maintained for generations. Number 6. When climate writes the law. Throughout the Sakha Republic, alcohol control is much stricter than in other regions of Russia, stemming from the reality of the prolonged, intensely cold winter climate. In some villages, residents have voted to become alcohol-free villages, where the sale of any alcoholic beverages is completely prohibited. Bringing alcohol into these areas can result in legal action under local law. This sight is often surprising to tourists. There are long periods when supermarket liquor shelves are empty, or villages where beer and vodka are conspicuously absent from public spaces. Local authorities consider alcohol restrictions a direct measure to reduce accidents and fatalities in the extremely cold weather. Another characteristic regulation is the Far East Hectare Program. This law allows Russian citizens to register for a free hectare of land in Yakutia for settlement, agricultural production, small business, or tourism development. If the land is used for its intended purpose for 5 years, ownership is recognized. Many homestay, eco-lodge, and reindeer ranch models today are directly derived from this policy, transforming barren, cold land into living spaces and tourist experiences. For tourists, staying here means entering a land that the state encourages people to live in rather than leave. Yakutsk is also notable for its regulations protecting indigenous people and reindeer herding. The law recognizes land use rights for traditional grazing and hunting activities, and even pays income to reindeer herders as a protected profession. When tourists participate in horseback riding tours, dog sledding, or live with the local community, they are in a legally protected space. This is not just a tourism service, but part of a state-recognized livelihood system. Beyond written laws, Yakutia also has unwritten rules shaped by the climate. No one is left outdoors in temperatures below -40 degrees Celsius, and consuming alcohol while traveling outdoors is considered dangerous. These norms instill in the Yakut people a strict adherence to the law, respect for the weather, and proper attire. For visitors, Yakutsk is not just a destination for extreme cold, but also a place that demonstrates how a society has built its survival rules to endure in a harsh environment. Number 7. a forbidden zone in the heart of Siberia. In the upper reaches of the Lena River in northwestern Yakutia lies an area often referred to as the Lena Valley of Death. According to local legend, this area contains massive metal structures resembling copper pots, partially submerged underground. Locals claim that the interiors of these structures remain warm even when outside temperatures drop significantly. However, those who stay overnight are said to subsequently suffer from weakness, illness, and in some cases, death, making the area dangerous. Due to its remote location and the need for days of travel through forests and swamps to access it, the Valley of Death has been largely unexplored using modern scientific methods. Therefore, it exists primarily in legend, books, and programs discussing unexplained phenomena, including UFOs. In eastern Yakutia, Lake Labinkir is associated with the legend of the Labinkir monster. According to legend, this creature is large, dark gray, and has sharp teeth, and is said to have attacked people and livestock. A unique feature of the lake is that its surface rarely freezes completely, even when air temperatures drop to -50 degrees Celsius. This phenomenon is explained by its geological structure and warm underground water currents. This combination of unusual natural conditions and oral traditions has made Lake Labinkir one of Siberia's most mysterious places. Around Yakutsk, there are also many sites connected to the spiritual world in Olonko, the folk epic of the Yakut people. Olonko describes the universe as consisting of 3 levels: the upper world of the gods, the middle world of humans, and the lower world of dark forces, connected by the world tree Al-Lukmas. Several ritual spaces, such as Ayayuhorga, have been reconstructed near Yakutsk, where shamans perform fire rituals and blessings. These sites hold both religious significance and serve as a way to preserve cultural memory in a modern context. Furthermore, the Yakut people tell stories of forests where animals exhibit unusual behavior, reindeer fall ill, or children suffer from strange diseases. These stories are often linked to areas of metal, diamond, and coal mining, as well as industrial activities during the Soviet era. In many cases, the legends reflect anxieties about environmental pollution and the long-term impact of heavy industry, expressed through mythological language about the angry land. This is how the community interprets and remembers the price paid when humans interfered deeply with the treasures hidden beneath the permafrost. Number 8. An ecosystem in the frozen world. In Yakutsk and throughout the Sakha region, the cold is not just a natural condition, but also dictates how people live, choose their livestock, and shape their cultural identity. A prime example is the Yakutian horse, a native breed that is small in stature, about 140 centimeters tall, and moderately heavy, yet possesses extraordinary cold tolerance. Even when temperatures drop to near -70 degrees Celsius, this breed can still survive outdoors. Their thick coats, 8 to 15 centimeters thick, along with their sturdy build and adapted metabolism, allow them to forage year-round, even during harsh winters. Beyond horses, the Sakha people also raise sled dogs and livestock that are resistant to the cold. Thick-haired breeds like the Laika, Samoyed, and Husky are considered important companions in winter. When roads are frozen and cars are not always reliable, sled dogs become a trustworthy means of transportation and goods delivery. Humans are also forced to adapt completely to the environment. Houses, heating systems, transportation, and personal vehicles are all designed to maximize heat retention. In Yakutsk, many cars use double-glazed windows to minimize heat loss when the engine is running continuously. Drivers often carry repair tools, as engine oil and mechanical parts can freeze very quickly if a breakdown occurs on the road. All of this creates a lifestyle closely tied to nature and the icy terrain. From choosing pets and building houses to transportation methods, everything revolves around living with the cold. In the scene of herds of snow horses, sled dogs, and houses radiating warmth amidst the white snow, the balance between humans, animals, and the harsh environment is clearly visible. Number 9. Take an ice bath to survive. In Yakutsk and the wider Yakut community, the cold is not just a living environment, but also directly influences medicine, beliefs, and how people understand nature. A prominent practice is ice bathing, often jokingly referred to by locals as the Siberian walrus style. In winter, when outdoor temperatures frequently drop below -45 degrees Celsius, Yakut people cut holes in frozen rivers or lakes and immerse themselves in the near-zero water. This custom has existed for centuries and is believed to help the body adapt to the cold, maintain health and stamina, with many continuing even after the age of 70. Alongside this, YAKUT folk medicine has developed many methods to deal with frostbite, a common risk in extremely low temperatures. Frostbite, if not treated promptly, can lead to serious damage, and people use bear fat as a natural remedy. According to age-old tradition, bear fat soothes the skin, reduces swelling, and aids in the recovery of cold-damaged areas, reflecting survival knowledge accumulated over generations. The YAKUT people do not view nature as something to be conquered. For them, the land, forests, water, and ice hold sacred significance and deserve respect. When hunting, gathering, or exploiting resources, they often leave a small portion as a ritual, a way of asking permission and thanking nature. This perspective emphasizes living in harmony, avoiding noise or damage to the surrounding environment. Their spiritual beliefs help the YAKUT see illness, cold, and death as part of the natural order, not just physical matters. Living amidst the freezing temperatures, they believe, requires not only warm clothing but also respect for nature, their beliefs, and their community. Witnessing a YAKUT emerge from an ice hole and return to their campfire reveals not only resilience, but also a culture that has learned to live with the cold. Number 10. When life turns inward. As night falls over Yakutsk, the world's coldest inhabited city, the atmosphere becomes unusually quiet. The dry snow crunches underfoot, mingled with the faint sounds of wood and metal shrinking in the cold. In winter, nighttime temperatures often drop to -50°C or lower, leaving the streets almost deserted. Only cars continue to drive, their engines running. Yellow lights pierce through the icy fog and mist, creating an ethereal atmosphere, as if the entire city is slowly drifting through the Siberian night. In these conditions, artificial lighting becomes a more important navigational tool than signs or sound. Despite the biting cold, Yakutsk's nightlife persists in its own way. Inside the late-night restaurants and eateries are warm spaces where people seek refuge from the chill. Stroganina, horse meat, hot soups, tea, and vodka are common items on the menu. Looking through the window, the contrast is striking. Outside, it's -50°C and freezing fog. Inside, there's light and warmth. Shopping malls, cinemas, and cafes have become familiar gathering places. Strolling indoors is considered part of nightlife, replacing wandering outdoors. Yakutsk still has nightlife, but on a smaller, controlled scale. Bars and pubs serve beer, cocktails, and snacks, accompanied by Russian music and a cozy atmosphere. Some clubs have DJs or live music, but all take place in warm, enclosed spaces. Here, nightlife isn't about noise, but about staying warm and socializing within safe boundaries. On more bearable nights, around -20 to -30°C, outdoor activities still take place. The ice rink, illuminated with colorful lights, becomes a meeting place for children and couples. Some small night markets and fish and meat stalls remain open. The cold air acts as a natural freezer, preserving food outdoors. This transforms winter into an integral part of the supply chain, rather than just a hindrance to daily life. The nightlife in Yakutsk is short and carefully planned. Long walks outdoors can cause frostbite and drain phone batteries quickly, so every route is planned in advance. Yakutsk at night is a stark contrast. Outside, there is frost, empty streets, and -50°C. Inside, there is light, laughter, warm eateries, and a dazzling ice rink. A very different Siberian experience, where people learn to maintain social life even when the cold is overwhelming. Number 11. A dish that doesn't need fire. The cuisine of Yakutsk clearly reflects a lifestyle shaped over centuries of extreme cold. The most representative dish is stroganina, a form of Siberian sashimi made from frozen raw fish such as muksun, char, or other boneless fish. The fish are kept whole and completely frozen by natural temperatures. When preparing it, the Yakuts hold the fish lengthwise and use a special knife to scrape it into thin slices. The slices curl up when separated, and on special occasions, they are arranged into flower shapes for display and enjoyment. Stroganina is not only a traditional dish, but also a way to obtain fresh protein throughout the long winter. Frozen horse meat also plays an important role in Yakutsk cuisine. Only certain parts, such as mare's udder and liver, are considered suitable for eating raw when frozen, while other meats like beef, venison, or deer are not used in this way. The habit of eating frozen raw meat helped the Yakut people maintain energy and survive during the coldest months. In addition, kumis, fermented mare's milk, is an indispensable drink in Yakut life. It serves both as a source of nutrition and holds spiritual significance, appearing in most important festivals and rituals. To keep warm, the Yakut also consume salamat, a flour-based mixture with butter, rich in fat and suitable for their high energy needs during winter. Finally, there is kircha, a dessert made from whipped cream and frozen wild berries, harvested in summer and consumed throughout the long winter. Number 12. The city suspended in the middle of Siberia. In Yakutsk, the permafrost extends to a depth of 400 to 600 meters and maintains temperatures below 0 degrees Celsius year-round. This necessitates building houses according to completely different principles compared to temperate regions. If a house were built directly on the ground, the heat generated by the heating system would melt the ice beneath, causing the ground to subside and damaging the entire structure. To prevent this, houses are elevated on concrete or steel columns driven deep into the ground, creating an insulating layer of air between the floor and the permafrost. This space limits heat transfer, keeping the ice below stable. From the outside, many residential areas in Yakutsk appear as rows of houses suspended above the ice. The infrastructure must also adapt in a similar way. Water, gas, and drainage pipes cannot be buried underground but are laid entirely above ground. They are wrapped in thick insulation and integrated with heating systems to prevent freezing during the long winters. Maintenance of these pipes is carried out regularly, as even a single freezing point can disrupt the lives of the entire community. Even rituals related to human life are affected by permafrost. Burials cannot be conducted as in other regions. Families often have to burn fires for days to melt the ice before digging a grave, or wait until summer when the soil is softer. In many cases, the timing and manner of burial are determined by geological conditions, not just by social customs. The suspended architecture in Yakutsk is not just a technical solution, but also the result of decades of accumulated experience living on permafrost. From the way houses were raised and the plumbing systems were laid to the adaptation of rituals, this city demonstrates a close interplay of engineering, culture, and survival needs in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Number 13. A journey into the frozen heart. Yakutsk is not only famous for its harsh climate, but also for offering some of the world's rarest travel experiences. One of the most notable is the Mammoth Museum, which displays the bones, tusks, and soft tissues of mammoths and many other Ice Age animals preserved in the permafrost of Yakutia. It is one of the few museums on the planet that focuses on the natural mummification phenomenon in permafrost. Many specimens retain their tissue structure, allowing scientists to study ancient ecosystems and past climate change. The museum also explains how melting ice is gradually revealing these findings. Nearby in Yakutsk, the Kingdom of Permafrost offers a completely different experience. Nestled in the slopes of Chochur Moran, this complex leads visitors down into a system of ice tunnels where temperatures remain below freezing year-round. Inside are giant ice sculptures, images of local fish, indigenous gods and figures from Yakut mythology, and the throne room of Chiskan, a symbol of the cold. This space simulates the feeling of living in permafrost, where light and temperature are controlled to preserve the natural ice structure. The Museum of Permafrost Research allows visitors to directly observe permafrost through underground research wells. Samples of mammoth bones, teeth, and petrified wood are displayed right in the ice environment. Pavel Melnikov's workshop is also preserved as part of the museum. His research played a crucial role in developing techniques for building houses and infrastructure on frozen ground. In terms of natural landscape, the Lena pillars are the most striking highlight. These pillars, ranging from 150 to 300 meters high, stretch for over 40 kilometers along the Lena River, about 180 kilometers from Yakutsk. In winter, ice, snow, and fog create an almost surreal landscape, a stark contrast to the lush green summer scenery often seen in promotional photos. Visitors typically combine travel by car and boat to access this area. Additionally, the Treasury of the Republic of Sakha showcases Yakutia's minerals, gold, and diamonds. Previously primarily for experts, this space is now open to the public. Some tours combine visits to the mineral treasures with Yakut cultural experiences, dog sledding, and traditional herbal tea tasting, creating a journey that is both scientific and cultural in one of the world's coldest regions. Number 14. The cost of an ice city. When planning to live or travel in Yakutsk, financial preparation is crucial. Compared to the general cost of living in Russia, Yakutsk is a high-cost city, especially considering the expenses associated with the extremely cold weather. A single person needs approximately $1,100 to $1,200 per month, including rent. For a family of 4, this figure rises to around $2,500 to $2,600. Meanwhile, the average monthly net income is only about $1,200, leaving a personal budget barely enough to cover basic needs. Food costs also need careful consideration. A simple lunch at a local restaurant costs around $9. A dinner for 2 at a mid-range restaurant typically ranges from $40 to $45, not including drinks. Fast food chains have similar prices. If you cook your own meals, groceries at supermarkets are still quite expensive. Milk, bread, rice, meat, and fruit are all significantly more expensive than in other cities across the country. On average, a person needs to spend around 17,000 to 24,000 rubles per month on food, depending on their spending habits. Housing and utilities take up a large portion of the monthly budget. A one-bedroom apartment in the city center costs around $550, while those further from the center are cheaper, around $425. A 3-bedroom apartment in the city center can cost nearly $1,000 per month. Utility costs, including heating, electricity, water, and garbage, are around $110 for individuals and $170 for families. Fiber optic internet is relatively inexpensive, around $15 per month. Transportation costs are quite affordable. Bus tickets cost only about 60 cents to 70 cents per trip, and a monthly pass is around $37. Taxis for short distances cost $4 to $5. However, the harsh winter forces many people to leave their cars running constantly, increasing fuel costs. For short-term visitors, common expenses are $20 to $30 per day for food, $30 to $60 per night for budget accommodation, plus transportation costs. In Yakutsk, every expense is linked to the cold and requires careful budgeting. Number 15. A trip that demands discipline. When preparing for a trip to Yakutsk, the most important factor isn't the itinerary, but rather readiness for extreme weather. Visitors should limit going out alone, especially in remote areas, and always have a clear return plan. In deep cold, phone, camera, and microphone batteries drain very quickly. Therefore, it's essential to bring spare batteries and keep devices close to your body to maintain warmth. Many first-time visitors to Yakutsk are surprised when their electronic devices shut down after only a few minutes outdoors. Remote attractions like Lena Pillars, Bulis Glacier, or Pole of Cold often require local guides and specialized equipment. Navigating through ice or traveling alone in harsh weather can lead to disorientation or frostbite. Summer, from June to August, offers more pleasant temperatures, around 15 to 25 degrees Celsius, suitable for longer trips. Deep winters offer an extreme cold experience, but the risks increase significantly. Most winter tours limit outdoor time to very short periods and always include warm clothing. Clothing is crucial. Travelers should apply the 3-layer rule: an inner layer of thermal or wool to keep dry, a middle layer of wool or fleece for insulation, and an outer layer of a windproof, waterproof, hip-length coat. Protecting your head, hands, feet, and face is essential with ear-covering hats, balaclavas, thick gloves, wool socks, and fur-lined boots. Below -40 degrees Celsius, ski goggles help prevent eye damage from ice and cold wind. Local guides often advise against staying outdoors for more than 5 to 10 minutes at a time during deep winter. Getting around the city also requires careful planning. Slippery roads and sub-zero temperatures make long walks at night dangerous. Buses and taxis are safer options. Heated, enclosed bus stops, sometimes with Wi-Fi, serve as temporary shelters between journeys. Many YAKUT residents plan their travel based on the location of these stops to avoid prolonged exposure to the cold. Regarding food, the body expends energy quickly in the deep cold, so prioritize hot, high-calorie foods such as soup, meat, and potatoes, and drink warm water frequently. Avoid using alcohol to combat the cold, as it dilates blood vessels and increases heat loss, which has led to numerous outdoor deaths. Culturally, the YAKUT are friendly but quite conservative. Tourists should ask permission before filming or taking photos, especially with elders, shamans, or during traditional ceremonies. Yakutsk is a destination where the greatest danger is not the people, but the weather. Thorough preparation in clothing, itinerary, transportation, and warm shelters is more important than any other travel plan. By understanding and respecting this, visitors can explore Yakutsk safely and fully. Away from the touristy gaze, we just discovered 15 unique aspects of life in Yakutsk. What do you think of the customs and life here? Let us know in the comments if you enjoyed this content. Don't forget to like it because that really helps the channel grow and bring you more amazing videos like this. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and turn on notifications because there are always new destinations to discover and amazing stories to tell. See you in the next video.